Hi, so in this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create your own invitations in Canva. And in this case, I'm going to be doing my own son's birthday party. So we're in Canva, I'm going to search birthday party invitations. And they just have so many. And you can specify what kind of party you're going to have. But there's just so many. And what I look for is more the typeface and the shape of the card and the placement, because everything else is customizable. So we're gonna change this outer space theme party to a Plants vs. Zombies party. And I already had shown you in my other video that I bought this design pack off of Etsy. It has all like the plants and the zombies, and I already do have some uploaded into Canva. But what I liked about this one is it came with digital papers, and it also came with like the lettering too. So these design papers are so good for backgrounds. And I think it just adds like a really nice touch versus having just a plain white background or a black background. And so we're gonna change the name. So I'm gonna put Erickson's. And we're just gonna adjust. So everything is just customizing what's already there for you. So I picked this one because I like the font, and that's just one less thing for me to have to find. So yeah, now you can see a little bit better. And then it's gonna be a 6th birthday, and maybe change this to green. And we'll change this one. Yeah, just a different shade of blue. So I'm just gonna move everything a little bit up because I wanna do more of the design on the bottom. And we don't need these planets. And let's change this to "You are invited to" and make it bigger. I think with this crazy background, the words need to be a little bit larger so that it's easier to read. And the event details, I just made it bigger and changed the font to black. There, I think that's a lot easier to read. And then this is also a little small. I'm gonna change that, make it a little bit larger. And then we can go ahead and delete these robots and add our own design elements. Actually, the first thing I want to put in is the logo. Move it toward the bottom. I noticed when I click on the designs, I had to bring them to the front, like right click, bring to the front, and that helped me select the designs versus messing around with all the text and everything. And then now we're just gonna put the zombies on the right, the plants on the left, and resize them all to however you want. I wish that I could text you. I bet you would help me. Tell me, what would Juliet do? She keep on looking till she found the one, like Romeo. And so now I'm gonna open up Pages, and I'm gonna open a new document in landscape so we can print 2 on 1 page. So I'm just gonna go into downloads, and I'm gonna drag and drop this PDF file into Pages and copy and paste it. So you can make this any size that you want. I just had these envelopes I had on the side, and they take a 5x7 card. That's what they fit. And a 5x7 times 2 fits perfectly on a regular standard size paper. So I'm just gonna arrange it, make sure that they're within the margins and that they're a 5x7. And I put cardstock into the printer, and we're just gonna print a copy. Okay, so once you have it printed out, sorry, my printer is running out of ink, but this is just a sample for show. I am just going to cut this out and do the envelopes. And so the envelopes that I have for this are 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So they fit perfectly in here. And these are just envelopes I had extra from my Christmas cards, but it's a pretty standard envelope size. So as long as it's 1/4 of an inch wider and longer, it'll be fine. So I'll show you how I personalize the envelopes. I do have another video on it, but they look like this, so it just adds like a cute little touch to it. So I'll show you how I do that. So to personalize the envelopes with the Cricut pens, I'm gonna select the square and I'm gonna unlock it. And the exact dimensions of my envelope is 7.25 inches wide and 5.25 inches tall. And right now it's gonna do a basic cut for this rectangle. So we wanna change this to score. And I'm only doing 2 envelopes because that's all that fits on my mat. And now we are gonna do the name. So I'm gonna type Kai. And for the font, I like to filter by writing. And you can choose any of the writing fonts. Pretty much anyone will work. The one that I chose, the ones on the right, it's called A Child's Year. So I'm just gonna put these kind of in the middle. We're gonna fix this and make it perfect. So we're gonna select both the rectangle and the name and align it horizontally and vertically. And that way it's perfectly in the center. And then we're gonna select both again and attach it. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the second envelope. Align horizontally and vertically, and then select them both again and attach. Okay, and then we can hit make it. We can double check, and then yes, the envelopes are still on there and the names are centered perfectly on there. And what we're looking for right now is where the bottom, I go by the bottom, but the bottom left-hand corner of the envelope, where the placement is, because that's how I'm going to place it on my mat. Okay, so I have my 2 envelopes here. The flaps are at the top, and I'm going to arrange it just as it shows on the mat on the computer screen. So just to make it easier, I'm going to do 6 inches and 1/4 in, because the Cricut doesn't cut 1/4 inch from the sides. And then this bottom corner is going to be 1/4 in on both the top or the bottom and the side. So just make sure that it's aligned well, and you can use a brayer, just press it down. So for the base material, I'm just gonna do cardstock, and I'm gonna edit tools. I don't want to use the scoring wheel. I do have the scoring stylus, but as you'll see in a little bit, it's just gonna go through the motions when it's the scoring stylus's time. I'm gonna go ahead and load my paper. So the first thing it's gonna do is the score. And I didn't even put the score in there because it doesn't matter. It's just gonna go through the motions. Okay, and now I'm going to load the pen. I didn't even put the pen settings in the Cricut. It doesn't really matter. It's just more for your information if you want to do that. So I'm just gonna load the 0.8 gel tip glitter blue pen and push it down till it clicks and close the cap.
Why Why'd you have to go and set the bar so high? It's 2020 when nobody starts across and right, and we can blame it.
Okay, so the first thing I always do or try to do is put the cap back on the pen, because like gel pens are okay, but the markers you really don't want to forget to put it back. So this looks so cute. I love using the writing. I try to use it whenever I can. I know this is just like a whole extra step, but if I have time, I really like to do it. Like, it's not something I stress over, but if I do have extra time. So if this was a real invitation, you would just put them in and they'll be ready to go. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this part 1 of my son's birthday crafts. But I'll see you next time. Thank you.